Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another late night here on the East Coast. How y'all doing? Hopefully pretty good. I'm not sure when I went live, actually. I think my little Twitch update was a bit late. Welcome, Black! Hey, Borrowed. How you doing, man? Load a game, please. Slight Quills? He's doing okay. He's doing fine. Let's see what we do. Like I said, with this build, I think Mathemagic was a mistake. I think so. But that's okay. We can work around that. And I think we cleared this floor. And we also got kind of screwed. Son of a bitch. We also got kind of screwed because we have an artifact here, so we can't complete a quest. Because we have to take that to the Eyeball Shrine. And don't have a way of getting it, which is annoying. Well, there's one more area we haven't done here.
Your inventory is full.
Things are going okay, Fox. How are things with you? Oh, nice. I got room for aged cheese. Do not. Oh, a black pearl. These are actually pretty good. We don't really need money with this build. Probably drop artifacts instead of buying them. Hopefully the audio is okay. I think I just kept it the same level as last time, so it should be okay. We've got two anvils of Krong that we can mess with. Nice. Someone's pet camping out in your car? What? Like, a real life animal is chilling in your real life car. That's insanity. Oh, it's a rat. Nice. You don't know whose it is or how it got in there? Or... the story. Didn't get the one I wanted there, I'll tell you. There's a rat in your engine. What the hell? That's kind of crazy. So, here's the interesting thing about this build. We should do a quick refresh for people I've forgotten. Because I was obviously away yesterday. Ditched pet. That's really sad. We're doing the Necronomiconomics build, which is a weird one. We kind of built everything around spell power. You need a lot of spell power to make this work, because you really want to just be dropping some heavy bombs on people. But also, problem is, you need a lot of ways to keep yourself safe. You're never going to be health, so you want to make sure you're not getting screwed by traps. We did fungal arts and alchemy because that's going to do excellent things for our not only our mental stats, but sort of survivability. And getting things like we win Emomancy so we can get a heal, for example. I guess Emomancy as well we could have probably swapped off, but it does have like a very quick heal, and we have 1,000 debuffs on us anyway, so we might as well just not worry about that. Right.
Your inventory is full.
Battered Kite Shield's pretty good.
Your inventory is full.
Throwing knives are cool. The Heraldric Lutefisk Cube. This is a fun item. It turns anything you put into it into a Lutefisk, which it's interesting anyway.
Critical hits. Critical hits.
Oh, this guy might be a son of a bitch.
Critical hits.
Blow him up. So the other interesting thing about this build is... Gotcha. Nice. Is, the damage we take after casting these and sort of bargaining with Eldritch Gods in order to gain power and all that stuff is scales based on our spell power as well. So the more powerful we are, the more damage we do to ourselves. Which of course a bad thing. I think we're just gonna do a little bit of that, you know what I mean? And that's the other reason we went with Blood Mana, is Necronomiconomics, also being a terrible skill, has a massive mana cost. Why don't we just take this Lutefisk cube and turn it into... Oh no. I was like wondering what happens if you put the Tesseracting cube in the Tesseracting cube. Or the bag of holding in the bag of holding. It turns out it's very bad. Hey Celeron, how you doing? Someone will beat this game or the Necronomiconomics build, because I've beat this game many, many, many times. Never cubed the cube. I had to know. I had to know what would happen. We very likely die right now. We are on fucking fire.
Your health is critical.
I could have teleported, but my teleport is random. Okay, fine. That's cool. That's my bad. I normally play on going rogue. We're doing Dwarvish Moderation for the achievement, and because Necronomiconomics is quite hard. What experience do you have in this game? I have a lot of experience. I don't know what my playtime is though. 93 hours. And I have like half of the achievements, but achievements don't fucking matter. You've never even seen Lord Dredmor? Okay, so here's the thing. First off, if you play this game, always do no time to grind. What it's saying when it means smaller floors, same experience is kind of weird. So Dredmor is coded in a way that you gain a certain amount of experience, and therefore you should reach the same levels on every floor. Like you should always be like level 7 at the same point, basically. So if you don't put no time to grind on, the maps are much bigger, but it takes you longer to level up, which is actually fine. But it just takes a lot longer. This is already a long game, so I always take this. The downside, the no time to grind, is the levels are smaller, which means delicious, delicious, delicious loot is missing. I'm not doing Realm of the Diggle Gods. We're just doing the 10 levels, again, just because we're doing Necronomiconomics and we're just going for a straight Dredmor kill. But here's the thing. If you ever fight Dredmor, no, he's basically immune to everything. Doesn't matter what your build is. And he reflects spells. So, the one way I've found is you build your build for fun, you get down to the bottom, or if you just click random a few times like I often do. But when you get to the bottom, you need a backup weapon to kill Dredmor specifically. But that's okay. We were talking about this build not being great. I'm gonna make it work. We're doing Necronomiconomics, Blood Magic, Fungal Arts, and Alchemy. It's a very good combo. Fungal Arts and Alchemy, this gets us to the second floor, which is when we can start working on Necronomiconomics and actually getting some stuff. Emomancy seemed pretty good, right? Because we can get that early heal, which is very important. We might be able to get away without this. The important stuff we really do need. Well, let's hold off. What we need now that I've jumped back into this game and I'm remembering things is we want a lot of spell power. A lot of spell power with Necronomiconomics. The question is, how do we do it? We're probably going to want to dual wield orbs at some point, just for the health and mana regen, or something like that. We could go for staves, so we have a combat skill and we can kick something. Shield Master? No, that's a fun build. I can actually, I mean, Acceleron, if you want a really fun build that's pretty good, actually, and I have beat Dredmor on going rogue with it, is Unarmed Combat Shield Bearer. You can grab Master Arms as well, or whatever, but the thing is you can dual wield shields, get the bonuses off both of them, and still kick. So it's pretty good. But either way, let's do this up. We got Blood Magic. We have got Fungal Arts. We have Alchemy. There she is. What do we do here? Okay. Mathemagic didn't have a debuff purge, which is what I really wanted from it. I just forgot. We could go with Fleshmithing instead of going with Emomancy. That's kind of a cool idea. Gives us another pet. And Emomancy's like, you know what I mean? Like, we debuff ourselves more, which is probably bad. I really like Burglary. Perception's really good too, actually. Armor smithing? We don't need armor, necessarily. Like, staves could be good. You can click last to just do your last. So I'm just going to do this right here. We're going to hop in. I'm just going to check these skills out because I forget them. Pardon me. Fleshmithing. Yes, we get a zombie. Heal is level 2. More AoE. What we're looking for is, you'll notice on these levels, we really want things that give magic. These do. As you go up with staves, you actually get that's Haywire Chance, so that's spell crit. That's just straight up spell power. That's a bunch of spell power, spell crit. The resistance? Yeah. So that's cool. Again, we don't really want to be kicking stuff. But, you know, or we don't want to be hitting things. Never trust a magic user, but magic is fun. No time to grind, no Diggle God. Okay, so let's get rid of staves. If we level staves up, we get some pretty good buffs from them. But I think we'll be using orbs and shields or something. Vampirism is interesting because we're not going to be meleeing stuff. Probably just want more things that put up our magic, honestly. Maybe just magic training. Right? Make our spells and mana more effective. The nice thing about perception as opposed to burglary. Do I have an escape? No. That's interesting. Very interesting. I think we do this though. Should be fine. I say though, the interesting thing about perception is there's a lot better chance with traps, which is good. Burglar is nice just for a few random items though. let's make this work. So we'll have Dr. Acceleron. So that he can reach the end. Nice thing about this is we actually get a pet level 1. Which is kind of cool. Oh. Good.
Your health is low.
Good.
Your life force is
Good.
running out.
Nice. Turns out Acceleron just kind of sucks. That's fine. Let's digest his food real quick.
Your health is low. Your life force is running out.
Rolling pretty good. I would really like to disarm this trap, thanks. This first level is very important. And as scary as that was, combat's actually worked worse for us right now. Well, this is pretty much our level up. Problem is, killing Siegfried right now is a pain in the ass. It's awkward. Okay, got a zombie. Now we have to hope that the zombie can kill Siegfried. And while he tries that, we're just gonna give this a little boot. Level up! And we're gonna go for Slime Herder, please. Slime is good.
The critical hit.
Now we can only have one pet at a time. But that is okay. Oh, cracked orb, nice. We'll dual wield cracked orbs. For massive spell power. Yeah, I wonder actually if it wasn't better to go with like staff user. Fucking eye lasers though. Be fun. I think burglary also starts with a bonus point in we're at sorry, 250 out of 250 experience. Okay. Yeah. Nice. For all the sense that makes. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Right. I do kind of feel like Staff Master was the right pick. Do we go back and grab that real quick? And I almost feel like Flesh Smithing... No, I like Flesh Smithing. Got Corpse Burst, it's got a bunch of like health things. Yeah, no. Okay, I like that. I like that. It's probably better to grab the heal right now though. Let's do that. Staff Master's not liking it. What I am kind of liking though is maybe Burglary instead of Perception, but Perception's kind of cool as well. It also gives you more sight radius. Oh, 250 is the max of that level. The annoying thing about that is experience gained over what you need for the level in this game is lost, so you actually have to be very careful when busting open like Dredmor statues. For example, things to keep in mind. Okay. wish. So this is a heal room. Nice. Basically, you pull this lever here, and then it makes just a couple little heals appear. You never drink the water in this game. That just kills you. Oh, okay. That's stairs. That's what that was. Sandy shouldn't be on this level. Oh, bitch.
Critical hit.
Scaly hauberk of the fish. Nice. The Mace of Windu. Very powerful. Oh my god. My fucking slime is trying to kill me. Okay. I think our next level up, instead of like rushing Necronomicon, which is good, I think it might be getting perception for the trap detection. Is kind of a problem right now. An Uber chest, I'll take it. What is it? Sword? A decent sword, actually. I think I would rather better spell power. Nice. Is that clockwork bolts? Clockwork drill bolts. Okay, clockwork drill bolts are one of the ways to kill Dredmor. The one I usually go for is clockwork frisbees, whatever the fuck they're called. The throwing discs. Very powerful. And you can craft them if you take tinkering, which is something I really like taking anyway. Lowered spell power and mana regen, but a bunch of fucking armor. We'll pass. We're a fucking wizard, Harry. We don't have to deal with that shit. The magical artifact, Mason the Reverent Muffin, must be found and used on the Mellow Shrine. I can look into that. A B. Arthur. Always an early game son of a bitch. But we have our slime, so it's not big. Like I said, the slime will carry you through 2 levels. Even just taking a value point, well, 2, technically. 2, right? To get Slime Master like this, like, it's so good. Just carry the fucking game for you. But we're gonna go for Nightmare Curse, which sucks, but the point is we're gonna be going boop, 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 get our Tenebrous Rift, then we can AoE stuff, and then we start looking into more useful skills.
Critical hit. Critical hit. Critical hit. Critical hit.
Now you can see, this is me just killing myself because I'm so powerful. Yeah, Necronomicon is certainly an interesting skill. Tricky to use correctly. So this fight sucks.
Critical hit.
We gotta pay our minor blood debt. Gonna Shrek us real quick. So here's like an interesting question.
Critical hit.
How important to you in a game
Critical hit.
is having...
Critical hit.
I don't really know what's a good way of putting this, right? How important is it for you to be able to play, oh fuck, left on the ID. I guess like the, like, I kind of want to say the character you want, but not really. Like, to have complete and freedom when it comes to like class and race options. You know what I mean? Like, how important is that? Because I know a lot of people played like World of Warcraft, for example. If you play World of Warcraft, you know, I'm sure we've all been in that point where we're like, kind of sucks. I kind of wanted to play like this paladin, for example, right? Like, almost nobody can be a fucking paladin. And you certainly can't if you're horde, right? You can now, but you didn't used to be able to. Or like, is not really that bad, because the thing is you couldn't be a paladin with certain races because it didn't make sense, etc., etc. You know, like, is it... Class options are nice, but they're rarely implemented well. Okay. Oh, you son of a bitch. I saw that just as I stepped on it. Alright. And that's the only problem with a build like this in Dredmor is, okay, so perception versus burglary. Hang on. I just need to see if burglary gives an extra... Yeah, so burglary actually ends up giving trap affinity is what it is. That's why we have an easier time, which is really what we need. And it gives trap sight radius. And it also gives us an invis down the road. We're probably not going to get far enough to get that, though. I don't think we're going to be reaching like 4 points into that. So realistically, we're getting... Man. It's not great. I think this is going to be the build, though. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I love that. David Bowie just spinning the fucking orbs. I know exactly what you mean, bro. Alright, well, I like Burglar anyway. It's a lot of fun. So we'll go with it. Arcanum comes to mind? Oh, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. Arcanum is certainly an interesting little build. Well, that was a Scalding Steam Mine. That is a... third... I think that's usually on floor 3. But either way, that was our little test guy. Dr. Celeron. But yeah, Arcanum, actually, most builds are shit useless in that game. I don't know why, but what it is. All the Elder Scrolls where you need certain skills? Yep. Yep. I don't... Not modern day Elder Scrolls, I wouldn't imagine. I don't know, I haven't played them. But definitely in the old ones. Fuck me. Yeah. Oh yes, you will need lockpicking and all of it. I agree. Let's get our zombie. Well, and that's the funny thing too, because it's not something your cleric would know how to do or want to, like, it's not even something you would want to pursue, if that makes sense, right? Yes, I 100% agree, because the thing is, well, the Mace of Lobster is actually quite nice to find early on. I could get behind that, yeah. But look, so I'm working on RPG right now, but it's like, people are very particular about certain things. See, we're not breaking these because they give 100 experience and we don't want to go over, right? We don't want to waste that precious experience, which we really need to level up in this game. Because you can see what happens to early game casters. You just die repeatedly. You have to put a lot of effort into not dying. Nice. Yeah, I think Burglary is the right pick. And in fact, I kind of think about getting this next level of trap radius, because currently we only detect things right beside us. And I think we can get away without slime murder for now. But traps are going to be what kills us, if nothing else. And Lucky Pick is kind of cool. Okay. But yeah, so I'm working on RPG, and it's like... It's really tough because I know players, like... I mean, I've been that guy too, right? Like, we've played, like, D&D, and we've played our other games, like our, you know... like, whatever.
Critical hits.
Most of us have played D&D, but we've all played these games, and we've been like, wow, I really, really want to be this guy. Like, I want to be, like the sort of underdog, right? Like the class race combo that doesn't really work or make sense, you know? And there certainly is a lot of fun to that, but while it's inherently fun to be like, oh, like I'm the 0.0001%, like there shouldn't exist a me. It also, in some ways, because we all do it and we've all done it and we've all played these kind of characters, like it takes away a bit, right, from that setting and whatnot. Half-orc wizards, yeah, exactly, thank you. I was trying to think of an example, but one wasn't coming to mind. But yes, you know, like we've all, like, been like, oh, it'd be really fun to be like a super learned half-orc, right? And like that can be a very fun character, and no one should take that away from you. But at some point, playing these unbelievable characters starts kind of being detrimental, right? Because a lot of the times then you get wrapped up in the gimmick of the character, if that makes sense. As opposed to like who the character actually is. So, I don't know, it's very interesting. Because the one I'm working on right now, like, I have... What I was initially going to do is, like, take it back to, that, like, the old school style of things, where it's like, you know, you are a this, or you are a this. I wasn't intending to have, like, oh, pick your race and then your class. But now I'm starting to go, like, well, how important is that, right? Like, how many people are going to be put off by that idea? Probably a lot. 26 Brigade, the son of a Canadian, son of a bitch, and their commander, the vile Bangrakol, and the morning Shuggus must be stopped at all cost. Of course. Of course. But I usually sort of run, the Eyeball Shrine? Yes, you must use the item Corkle on the Eyeball Shrine to summon his servant 4-4, the father of cheeses. It will. And it's a really tough sort of discussion. Right now I'm kind of working on, like, maybe doing the, you can pick a race class, but very, like limiting, like only this can pick this, only this can pick this. But as soon as you say something like that, then people are like, oh, I want to do whatever. Yes, and that's the thing, Acceleron. I'm huge into skill-based systems, actually. Like, that's my big thing. Son of a bitch. However, as much as I love skill-based systems, that was kind of fucking weird. We are... Oh, fuck. Okay, I was just about to heal, but I pushed an extra button. Welcome to the problem with the Necronomicon build. Why it's actually the worst. Is if you cast your spell too many times, you just kill yourself immediately. Hello. I knew that, though, going into that. I also should have spawned the zombie, but he didn't spawn. It's fine. But anyway, sorry, I was saying skill-based systems are awesome. Call of Cthulhu is, like, probably my favorite system ever. But what they kind of fuck up is they make like combat doesn't end up being the same, right? And it's very hard to end up feeling, I guess, heroic in those kind of games. That makes sense? It probably doesn't. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but especially like combat really is less like a fight and more like just like doing anything else, really. Requires elaboration. I'm down for elaborating. Oh, he's stuck on the other side of a fountain. Super fun. Oh, that's fair accelerant. Like dude, I'm super overtired. So I feel like sometimes, like I know it's only like 10:30, but I get up at like 5 every day, and I'm getting like 2-3 hours sleep. So it's starting to wear on me a bit. This new schedule. But I think like I'm maybe a little less put together. You know, like I want to say something, but I feel like it's not coming out the way I want to say it, so I'm having to think about it. For lesson 1's alright, but we'll sell it, it's fine. In terms of combat not being satisfying. Okay, cool. Oh, fuck. It's a nice little crossbow to find early. So, let's say you're playing Call of Cthulhu, right? Okay, which is a skill-based system. Combat involves you roll a d100.
Your life force is running out.
Oh, that's why we have knit tissue. Excellent. I think fleshmithing was actually huge. I guess that comes down to the system, actually, because my complaints I was going to make with combat entirely come down to the fact that Call of Cthulhu does not have combat rules, right? Combat is just a series of extremely simple skill checks. But I'm trying to think of a skill-based system that has a meaty combat. You know, that has like an enjoyable combat, which is why I started writing my own in the first place, because I was like, I want this, but nothing is giving me this. What if there exists such a thing? But the other sort of issue with skill-based systems is they tend not to have like fun powers as well. Because usually it's like, okay, a lot of them it's because they are sort of more so grounded in reality, right? But it's like you don't end up with like like magic or characters that can do cool abilities or whatever else. You end up with a person who is good at skill and person who's good at other skill. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've been meaning to check out 5th edition, but I think my D&D days are mostly over. Like, it's kind of hard for me to like go play it now. I usually buy all the softballs. They're really good for converting into Lutefisk later on. Yeah, I mean, I think GURPS is great, but it's a toolkit. Which I kind of feel a lot of times. Oh shit, bastard! If somebody gives you a toolkit, I almost would have preferred having a little more, you know, like having a little more direction. I think having just like Traveler gives you a lot of just go at it. Do you like this? Use that. Do you like this? Use this. And I think that's great. Like the modularity is a lot of fun, and I really do like Traveler. But the problem is some, especially with like GURPS, where you're just like, I have all these cool ideas of what I want to do, but I don't kind of have enough push in a direction, you know? I find I get more burnout doing things like GURPS or like riffs or whatever else, like, you know what I mean? Where I'm looking at all these like great possibilities, and I'm like, and that could just be a me thing, right? Hey, Slate Quills, you died. Sorry, in kind of an annoying way, but it happens. So we're basically just doing the exact same build, except I've tweaked it. I replaced Emomancy with Flesh Shaping. I just thought that was a little more apropos. It works a little better. Oh, Burning Wheel's a shitstorm. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, I grabbed Flesh Shaping because instead of Emomancy. One less debuff to worry about, a little better healing. That's fine. And Mathemagic we swapped out for Magic Training. And that's the same. That's all we did. We're just trying to make it a little more viable. So it should still work. Yeah, Burning Wheel's really cool. I like Burning Wheel in Mouse Guard. And I thought Torchbearer was really interesting, but I hated it. If that makes sense? I love the idea of it, but then actually, like, I think Torchbearer makes the huge mistake of, I know it's not supposed to be Dungeons and Dragons, but it wants to be a dungeon crawl game. Like, that's what it's about, but the combat is so abstracted that it ends up making nobody feel like they've had any real say in the combat. Like, it's not exciting, I guess, for every player. No, I like Mouse Guard though, because it was like, it's a very cool like setting, and I kind of saw what they were doing. But like Torchbearer was even more like dumbed down than Mouse Guard, I found. But actual Burning Wheel is very fucking specific. It tells you what you're doing, and you're doing that. That's pretty cool, though. Very, very neat system. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, Acceleron. I like never get to play anymore. I haven't played in 12 years, maybe. Long ass time. Or maybe 10 years ago. 10 or 12. This is the N-dimensional lathe, which I use to craft wands, I believe. Which we will not be doing. It's a cool little item. I think a large part of my issue with role-playing games too is, I mean, I love them. You know, I've played a lot, I've done a lot of stuff for them. But like, oh fuck, that's not great. Hang on. This is gonna be we might just be able to attack this guy and out-heal it. Can't, no. I was gonna say, I think I haven't found any teleports neither. Ooh, an old zombie. Nice. Yeah. have to spellcast him to death. It's just not good for us, but survive. A couple of groups. Yeah, that's the problem, right? It all depends on the groups we play with too. The groups I always end up playing with, especially these days, but even back in the day, like I've never really played with experienced players except for very few times. And even people that like I've played with for years and years and years and years and years, I will never like say end up being like experienced, if that makes sense. They're the kind of people that like every time they do the same task, they ask the same question: how do I do this, or whatever. And so for people like that, like people that don't track their own stats, people that don't whatever, it gets very tricky playing a lot of systems, because you just fucking can't expect the players to do anything, like to track their own stuff, which ends up being really weird when a game gives you so many options. You know, I guess like with GURPS, though, you can cut out as much as you like. You can be like, look, these are like some skills you can take, instead of being like, look, there's like 10 billion skills or whatever. I really like systems personally that have stuff where it's like your skill is whatever you write down. But you know, I don't really know people that can play those. Like I really like Little Fears is a great example. Like you can just write down a thing, like, oh, I'm good at this. Or the Marvel role-playing game from like back in the day. I think it's the Marvel Heroic role-playing game. I don't know. I have a little book for it. It kind of dropped out pretty quick. But it was like, you give yourself a power. Like, oh, my power is like this. And you can use it however you want to use it. You know, but you got to be creative. But... well, D&D is extremely structured, which is part of its great appeal. And the other nice thing about D&D is it gives the players a lot of tools in which to feel good.
Your inventory is
But
full.
you know, players that don't have any drive for their characters? Oh fuck, yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, my big issue with the burning wheel combat is the commander idea. Like, players want to feel like they do something. And I personally think it's cool, right? It is kind of interesting thinking of combat as a scene and thinking like, okay, this is what is happening in a scene. But players in practice have trouble grasping that, right? It's like anyone that's played World of Darkness. You know, I'm a huge fan of World of Darkness. But, and, well, yes, being vague can always be abused. But that's, you know, sort of the player DM contract. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't be a fucking asshole, right? Like, you know, I don't know, I understand that, but at the same time, I kind of hate that. It's like we're all playing together, you know? Like, if you want to feel like you're a fucking god, that's cool, whatever, right? But don't take away from other people. Or, you know, you just snip them out of the group. I think it is. But yeah, like, scene-oriented stuff is really cool. And World of Darkness is a great example. Like, in World of Darkness, there are scenes. Like, combat does not last for rounds. When you use something that lasts for a combat, it lasts for a scene. A lot of things last for a scene. Like debuffs and stuff. And when you start thinking of things as scenes, it's very easy to, like, see it as a movie or a drama unfolding in front of you, in my opinion. And I love it. Like, one of my all-time favorite, like, sessions I've ever played. Well, it was a series of 2 sessions. We played 2 days in a row, and we were all DMs from previous like games, and we just a whole bunch of DMs. We met up online and we played World of Darkness, entirely GM-less, because you don't need a GM for World of Darkness, in my opinion. We just went through the scenes and we were just role playing, right? And it was really cool and it was very interesting. You know, if you ever get to experience something like that, I highly recommend. But yeah, oh piss. You know, Wraith the Oblivion, excellent. Excellent. I think World of Darkness has some of the coolest settings out there by far. My favorite is Vampire. Specifically Vampire the Masquerade. But, doesn't matter. I think they're all good, right? You know?
Your inventory is low. Your inventory is full. Your inventory.
Okay, we do not have our slime, which we're gonna have to start looking into. Sorry, kind of got off traffic with talking about the game. But Dredmor is pretty simple. You guys, like right now, there's not really a ton going on. I'm sure most of you know what's going on anyway. Did they make a new Wraith or no? I know they were talking about it. Yeah, like, yeah. A lot of stuff is actually extremely hard. Shit. We are very much not ready for this monster zoo. That's fine, I guess. Okay, I don't deal damage to that. So fucking up your first monster zoo is just like tear breaking, because right now we need experience and whatever else. Do our best. Dude, poor GMing will kill your World of Darkness experience. For sure. Because the entire game is a social game. Like, if that makes sense. It's like... Well... Yeah, it's all just, like, talking and role... Like, it's not based around combat. So there isn't, like... a shitload of that going on. There's not like, eh. Yeah, I would also be like heartbroken being in a group like that. I think the interesting thing about like GMing is like every time you GM, you kind of end up feeling like you're a better GM than last time. You know what I mean? It's kind of neat. One rule for GMing that has improved the way you run games has always been be a fan of your player characters. Oh. Like in what way? It's kind of a neat thing to say. I'm not sure how to interpret it. Like, I get very passionate about the characters in my games, because I like to see them as like I see everybody's character as a character I'm playing, in a sense, right? I'm like, I get very excited when people make very good characters or very interesting characters or whatever, and if people don't, then I'm like, oh, I mean, this exists. But invest in their stories and enable their stories. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I'm always pretty excited what my players are coming up with. Problem is, unfortunately, right, like, you know, it's not something you really want to say, but sometimes people... Oh, I think I just killed myself here. Hang on. We survived. Some people don't have interesting characters. But worse than that is... Again, this is personal experience and the groups I've run with, but I find a lot of players end up more invested in, like, I guess, the story than the game? Does that make sense? A lot of people I've ended up playing with are more interested in, like, being in a scene as opposed to taking action in a scene. You prefer the focus not being social intrigue and relationships, but you like to play Mr. Charisma. That's kind of interesting. How does that work, exactly? Also, I think fleshsmithing was... Holy shit, that was a play. Glad we went with that. Oh, you don't like when everybody's doing it. Okay, you like to be the face. Okay. Yeah, I get you. Oh, fuck. Am I dead? Because this guy can cast spells through jet. No, I can knit tissue. Good. Okay. Ooh, that got a little sketchy. Nice. Cleared a monster zoo. With, like, kind of a rough set of stuff, actually. But, you know, I'm okay with it. Yeah, we just gotta get our Tenebrous Rift. That's what it is. My god. You know what else we need?
Your inventory is
I guess
full.
one zombie. That's
Your
fine.
inventory is full.
Yeah, I'll take this. Oh. Necromantic resistance. Does that protect me from my Deathly Hex damage on myself? The answer is yes. Holy shit, that helps. Yeah, wow. Okay. I will take that. Super Grimdark Necromancer? That's the plan, man. Super Grimdark Necromancer is the best Necromancer. Yeah, I always like playing a social character. Like, whether I'm playing a rogue or a wizard or whatever. Like, I like playing... That's not true. I do like spinning things and doing the persuasion and the whatever, but, like, I'll do that no matter what skills I have. It's just on... You know, sometimes your character doesn't end up... Well, it doesn't fucking matter. I haven't done it in a million years anyway. But yeah. I'm the guy who's, like, more than happy to, like, try and talk his way out of everything, whether or not he has the skills to do so. Like, you know what I mean? That's more my thing. Yeah, I do kind of like using the zombies alongside the Necronomicons. That's a lot of fun. Well, that's actually interesting. So the one I'm working on, I've got like social situations. I mean, I personally believe, you know, if a character's gonna shoot a mook, they shoot a mook, right? Like, I think for combat, trivial combats shouldn't be played out as a combat, right? You know, the character just fucking kills them or whatever else. Or, you know, maybe there's like just a roll for damage, something like that. However, what I've sort of done with this one is like having like social combat. That makes sense. Like when your character engages in like a persuasion or a bluff or something that's
with something like an opponent would consider like an equal opponent. Like, it's not just like, you know, an idiot guard that you're like, ah, these are my passport? You know what I mean? Then having, like, you know, if it's like dealing with a diplomat, or you're dealing with a noble, if you're dealing with someone who's like important or whatever, like, it's a bit of a social combat. Of course, it's, I don't know. I think that is like super cool thing. Should there even be trivial combat? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, the short answer to that is no. But the long answer is there's always trivial combat. One thing I hate about this game is when it starts to chug. Because, like, it tries to handle a lot of stuff really quickly. Oh, this isn't good. Not getting back. Nightcap's nice, actually. You want to pick that up.
Your inventory is full.
I like your players have an impending sense of things that can go pear-shaped. Not necessarily going to save them. Nope. I completely agree with that. Okay. But what do you mean by, you shouldn't have trivial combat? Like, I think trivial combat is the kind of thing that players end up getting themselves in. You're like how trouble starts. Usually trivial combat is the bad decision. Right? Like your, you know, character's like, yeah, you know what I want to do today? I want to just fucking kill, you know, Jack the NPC or whatever, right? Or I want to sneak up on these little, like, goblins and kill them. And I'm like 5th level or something. Like, you know, it's the entrance to the dungeon or something. I think that's like a trivial combat. I don't think, like, you know, there should be encounters designed. Because, like, you know, we're going on like a dungeon sense, right? I don't think there should be encounters designed that are, air quotes, trivial combat. I think every encounter, if you're doing a dungeon, should be fun, exciting, dangerous, etc. But
Your inventory is full.
okay, let's do the Market-Cathon then, get Beast. You are being a son of a bitch. Like, nice. A really nice hat off this guy too. Baron's hat.
Your inventory is full.
Okay.
Critical hits.
Oh shit, I forgot. What was my quest again? Destroy it at the monolith. Cool, I know where that is.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do like that weapon, actually. Kind of actually hate it? Well, I say hate it. Fuck. Yeah, but I can kind of see where you're coming from as well. I think I just explained myself poorly. But in the same way, like, I don't necessarily think there should be roles for a lot of things there are roles for, and that's kind of where I would put the trivial combat. Like a trivial, like a lot of times, if we haven't had the player roll in a long time, we have them roll because it's exciting, but a lot of things really shouldn't be difficult. If you have an like Olympic athlete and they say, I want to jump that little gap, you probably don't need them to roll for that. Will it be exciting if they fail? No, it would be interesting. We'll laugh, but if they're going to feel really beansed. And if they don't fail, like, what was the point, right? You probably could have done it. There's a lot of stuff where we really shouldn't be rolling, I think. But, yes, me, of course.
Your inventory is full.
That's why we have critical fails? Do you like that? I'm not crazy about it.
Your inventory is full.
I definitely like the looming threat of a critical fail, but I think if it's something like a character could do in their sleep, I don't really feel like it's that important to make them roll for it. This build is weird. Just sort of transition into being a combat god. Temporarily. It could be even more so if we took on active fleeting life. Which gives us lifesteal. We're not going to. It's the negative connotations with that. This is really nice though, the Mark of Cthon. Gives us a bunch of resistances. And some damage. It's good. Good little thing. To me, it's less about passing a check and more of just don't get a 1. Yep, that's fair. I think making somebody roll for something like that, if there's an interesting outcome to the failure, is like okay. But we all have very different definitions of like this kind of stuff as well. So sound of machinery. I think that was the Uber chest unlocking. Well, and that's funny you mention. That's another thing I don't like about how a lot of systems are run. I don't like the fact that a lot of times, like the player rolls and sort of looks at the DM, and then the DM's like, "Yeah, you made it." I do really like it in a system or something. The player is able to go, rolls dice, oh, I made it. Just one of the things I really like about the D100 system. Now, granted, I don't often play with players who like describe combat or anything. That usually falls on me, like, which is unfortunate to me personally. I really like it when someone's like, oh, I'm gonna try and like kneecap him or something. You're like, oh, that's fun. As opposed to players like, okay, I attack. What do I roll? But either way, I like it when a player rolls dice and is able to go like, oh, I made it, and tell you like, okay, I did this, or this is how it happened. Again, that doesn't often happen in practice, ever, but it's a very cool idea. We are going to take iron ingots because I can use them for alchemy. I try to prompt that, but like I said, I play with players who tend to be Until combat happens, of course. More about like the overall, as opposed to like what they're doing. Like a lot of my players just kind of feel like, or I don't know, feel necessarily is the right word for it, but it feels to me like a lot of my players just see themselves as a party, like a blob that enters a scene, does things, and then leaves. I honestly, that is something I really need to start doing, those light quills. Yeah, I agree. Is prompting with questions. That's something I feel like I do it, but I probably don't do it near enough. But I need to be a lot better about, like, how did you do this? What are you doing? I think a lot of times my issue with that regard is I end up offering them possibilities. Like I say, so did you do this? Did you do it like this? Like, how did you? And then it'll be like, oh, I did that one thing. And I think I need to try and rein myself back a bit from that. And give them less things. It's just I'm so concerned. To me, personally, yes, I agree. It's like a person having a strong grasp of self and being able to put on a character that we can all sort of love and enjoy or learn, or that can grow or whatever, that is extremely important to me. But I really need to yeah. Let me see, what kind of sick moves did you bust? Oh my god, I love that. Holy shit. That is super fucking fun. Do the dance battle sounds like a lot of fun, and really a dance battle is in a way like a combat. One of my favorite things in role-playing, right, is the whole getting into character. Which I think Slight Quills and probably X7, like you guys are both feeling me there, but it's very hard for people to do this. And my favorite thing is when people make a decision based on what their character would have done as opposed to what they want to do. And I think that's huge. And that's usually like one of the biggest milestones for a player as opposed to a character. And so I've recently been playing. Toucan is useful on some levels. We're gonna skip it anyway. But I've been playing this board game. I do actually highly recommend it. Check it out if you guys are into board games and role playing. But it's called Fog of Love, and it sounds silly, but what the game is a you own it. It's wonderful. It's super wonderful. It sort of sells itself as you play out a romantic comedy, and that's true to a sense. But I think it sells itself extremely short. It's a very good role-playing aid. It's sort of a step below, like, just sort of writing a story together. Like, you know what I mean? And it tricks people into role-playing. And I was playing with my wife, and, like, you're having, you know, you play over, like, an hour or something, and we're having a really good time getting into our characters and everything. And she is not a role player. She has done maybe 3 role-playing sessions with me, and I'm like a huge role player. And like, you know, that was a lot for her, and she got into them because we did mysteries, and she kind of got into the story. But it was a lot of trouble for her, right? She just doesn't role play. She has trouble grasping this stuff, and it's just something that she doesn't do, and she hasn't had the time to build the confidence and get into and stuff like that. And so we're playing this game, and at one point, In this game, you're playing two characters in a relationship, and you're seeing how the relationship ends up, and you're all trying to guess what your opponent's, well, not opponent, what your partner's goal is, and what you're trying to figure out which goals you can accomplish yourself. And you're feeling it out, and you're describing bits of scenes here and there. And she wasn't really describing a lot of her scenes. Like, occasionally she'd be like, okay, like, I'm, you know, this sort of a thing and whatever. But she was a lot more reserved because, again, she isn't the role player. She doesn't do that. And we were just having a fun game together on sort of like a Sunday afternoon. And one of the things that often comes up in the game is you each make a decision on an event that happens, and there are occasionally some events where matching is very important, and you're trying to guess what each player would do. And we flipped, and she's like, "You wouldn't have done that." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Well, your character would have acted like this." And she like describes like the little scene, and she got really adamant about it because she spent a long time deciding what I would have done, and then I chose poorly. And I was like, holy shit, like no, that makes tons of sense. That's what my character would have done. And it was kind of a wonderful moment. Not just because, you know, she had this huge fucking epiphany while playing like a role-playing game, which is something I'm very passionate about. And it's always fun when you get to watch like the people you love experience and get something out of something you enjoy. But it was really cool too because, like, again, I love teaching role-playing games and getting people into them. And watching someone like a new like player get into something like that and like make a statement like that is always so exciting. It's always so fun to me when I'm DMing and a player says, you know, I'm gonna do this, and we have a, you know, even though like, you know, they wouldn't do it, and the group definitely doesn't want them to do it, but that's what their character would have done. And a great example of that is my Delta Green campaign I ran some 4 years ago or whatever it was with the stream, and one of our characters decided he was just going to level a building. They saw some horrific things, they left the building, they hadn't really had a lot of time to discuss it, things were getting bad, they knew they had a very short amount of time to sort of flee the scene. And what happened was he said, you know what, I'm going to take these breaching charges I have and I'm going to strap them together, and can I rig it up so they just fucking detonate? And I'm like, yep. And he chucks it in a window and just blew the room and more so the house, sort of just leveled it. And everyone exploded because that's not what the group wanted to do. The group was talking out of the game a bit and going logically, okay, we're looking at this situation. And he was like, nope, my character got freaked the fuck out. I hated every second of that. I'm blowing this up. And I still love that scene. That's still one of my favorite scenes because it was so polarizing. And to this day, I think a few people are still quite angry about that. I really enjoyed it. I thought that's, you know what I mean? Perfection. Yes. Inhuman Conditions? I'll have to check that one out. Sounds like it may be up my alley. Clockwork Ravager is a great little item that we will not be building this time. Hey Brax, perfect. I got a bunch of shut. Actually, I don't. I'm not really carrying a lot of extra items. I don't need tinker parts, and I don't need the nth-dimensional lathe. Yeah, we're probably fine, actually. I should drop some of this stuff off in the pocket dimension, but that encourages a bad kind of play. Because I end up just spending my entire time just fucking around and going back and forth. Cunningness. This ring might not be bad to buy. I mean, it's another piece of damage resistance, which is nice. Yeah, I think we'll buy the ring. Cool. Now, where was that Uber chest that we saw? Did I just feed the zombie that cheese? I did not know you could do that. Hey Foxy, not much. We've just been chatting about role-playing games for the most part. Been a really good time doing so.
Your inventory is full.
If you ask me, I've been having a very good time anyway. It's giving me a lot of food for thought, which is important. So can I? Oh my god, yeah, I had no idea you could feed your summons food. That's blowing my mind. I'll read that in 2 seconds, Acceleron. I also want the steel ingot. Where the fuck was that Uber chest? I don't think they show up on the map. You're supposed to just remember. Is it like over here? Alright, so let me read this. Because you're the low-end players, and this happened when I'm playing as well, don't have any cohesion for the party or why they're together. Started a new campaign once. Someone asked me, how do you make a lawful evil character? I rolled up a human cleric who was all about human supremacy. Oh, fair. Yeah, that's kind of fun. I do agree. Like, it is extremely annoying. It wasn't that way. It is extremely annoying though when the party puts little or no effort into those kind of decisions, yeah.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full.
Yeah, it's always a little sad actually. Oh, here it is. It's all the way down there. Okay, it is on the map. I'm just blind. Of course, it is quite a tiny little screen. But yeah, I find a lot of it could just be like a nervous thing, an anxiety thing. I don't know, but it is extremely frustrating and kind of disheartening in some ways when the players put so little effort into the story, right? Wow, wow, wee, whoa! What a mace! You know, I feel like they should be just as invested as the DM, but often, no, very much not the case. Sergeant, guess what? Two human supremacy dudes aren't going to help a dark elf they've never met before? Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, you have to... The thing, too, is I think a lot of times the players should, like, work amongst themselves on that, but of course they don't, right? Like, I've always liked it in role-playing games where, like, if you start, okay, the player to your left knows you from when. You know, Traveler does that really well. I've played a couple others that do that. I believe Little Fears does as well, stuff like that. But things where it's like, okay, pick another person. What's a scene that happened with them before? Like, how do you know each other? Why are you here together? Pardon me. Just play on. Lawful evil is the best kind of evil. I agree. It is super fun. That's a pretty cool little amulet you have there.
Your inventory is full.
We're gonna pick that up because that sells for cash money. Question is, what do we drop? Apples? Yes. Oh, hello. is about to explode, I think. Yeah. Nice. That sweet blood mana.
Your inventory.
So we got a couple zombies. We're gonna stand in that fire and just die. Nice, I like that. Yeah, well, I think because games like D&D have hand-waved the meeting of the party for so long that we've ended up with this as such a big issue. It's unfortunate, but I think that may be the case.
Your inventory is full.
Nice. Get crunk, boys.
Your inventory is full.
There's some hard cider as well. Nice. So we've reached the points where our summons don't do shit. But the good news is, Steam Rocket Bolt's quite good as well. Like, we are starting to hit really hard, and we're almost at Tenebrous Rift, which is where we really start coming into our own with this build. I think we will finally go in here and drop off a bunch of bullshit. I just hate doing it. Iron. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, I can agree with that as well. Sony 1's really nice, actually.
Your inventory.
Deciduous 1, I can't actually remember what it does.
Your inventory is full.
Oh, hello.
Your inventory is full.
Oh, the Masalov cocktail, also just an excellent little item. I don't remember Odious Puffballs being that useful. Probably okay. Cybertronic Amulet? Wow, it's actually pretty great. It's just, our current one does so much for us that I can't really, in good faith, take that. Except I want to sell it, so... let's drink some pear wine. There should be a huge emphasis on how did these people meet, but, you know, unfortunately, that really does come down to the players, right? You know, at some point they're gonna have to like decide that question. And maybe it's, you know, again, maybe all the issues I have with all this stuff, right? I don't think that can shoot me anyway. Yep, I'm fucked. Okay, cool. Just come down to the fact that with or issues with never really having a group of strong role players. You know? And I'm willing to admit that could be definitely part of the problem. Potion of Midas, that's a fun one.
Your inventory is full.
Well, I don't... Hey, Yanks, how you doing? I don't think it's, like, too crazy to ask the players either to be like, okay, like, if you're dealing with a new player to the group,
Your inventory
you know,
full.
like, how did you guys know this guy before, right?
Your inventory is full.
You know, can we just... Oh my god, what a room.
You need more mana.
Can we just sort of pick a reason why we know him? Is he somebody's cousin? Is he related to the person that's dead, and we were asked to find him. Do we, you know, did we lose a rogue and we need somebody new, you know? He's kind of like the Monkey Island looking guy, yeah. No, and this is what I was talking about. It's like, well, it's like, you know, a lot of role-playing games don't give, I guess, the tools again, this is personal, that I want the DM to have, or that don't have rules integrated in a way that encourage what I consider to be good player behavior and important things, right? And that's fine. They don't have to. The game doesn't have to go over its way to do that for me. But that's why I've been working on my own system. Sort of like very off and on for like the last like 6 years, but I just had like an epiphany recently, and that's why I'm back on it. So you guys are probably gonna hear about that for a little bit. And then if I get off it again, I get off it again. And that's life, right? I'm one of those guys, I very much get into my passion projects. And then at some point, maybe I burn out on them. I certainly have more than a few miniatures that are sitting there, assembled and not painted. But I was very passionate about them for a little bit, I swear to God. And if I had all the time in the world, I would finish all of them. But
Your inventory is full.
yeah, totally. Like even something easy like that, Acceleron. I'm all for it, man.
Your inventory is
Wrap your head around making rules to encourage your players to be better. It's tough.
Your inventory
It is tough.
Your
You can get there. I believe in you. Copracchio. The dance of porcupine. It's okay. Lowers my accuracy. I actually have shit all accuracy in this game, so I'm not gonna go for it. But a lot of times too, it's the way we write stuff. You know what I mean? If you tell a player they can mechanically do things, they'll do them. But if you write it a little more verbose, perhaps they will be inclined. Iron Sworn, never heard of. Give me the lowdown. What are rules for being a better GM? I've played a few GM-less role-playing systems that are very cool. Ultimately, it doesn't really quite work as well as you want it to, but fuck it, right? You're not having a GM, right? Because really that's what it comes down to, is you don't play a GM-less system because you want to have the best experience possible. You play a GM-less system because you don't want to play the GM today. Nothing wrong with that, man. I think, like one of your things, Fox, right? Alright, we're gonna go ahead. This ring we bought, let's throw her on. What do we get? Strong is pleased. We got more fire resist. Nice. It's fine, I guess. Don't really play with fire too much. But, I mean, you came from like forum role-playing, right? Or like, you know, sort of text-based. And I think you'd be an excellent role player because you come up with these great stories, but then you just don't sort of apply them. And I think that's because, you know, that's the whole social anxiety thing, right? Like actually having the talk. Okay, Yanks, we've got a couple things going on right now. Right now we have a conversation on role-playing and role-playing theory. That's an aside. That's pen and paper role-playing. What? This is Dungeon of Dredmor, man. You don't remember this? It's a classic roguelite. It's actually really good. It's super funny. And extremely in-depth. I love it. I have 100 hours in it, and to get more than 10 hours in a game for me is quite difficult. Not to say I don't apply myself to games, it's just I don't have time to fucking put in the games, so for me to sit down and do 100 and something, pretty good. But we're doing an extremely difficult build. I can explain things real quick, we just gotta cheese this fucker. So, right now the build. You're coming in on level 3, this game goes to level 10, and it gets fuckier and fuckier as you go. Like, it gets insane. Oh, I leveled up at some point and never bought Tenebrous Rift. It's awkward. Well, that's good. We needed that. So, this build is using the worst skill in the game. Necronomiconomics. Why is it the worst skill? Because it is a caster skill. It's a spell tree that doesn't play nice with other spell trees. It's not something like, oh, okay, I'm the fire mage, but that still works fine if I'm this mage. No, everything you take has to build around this fucking skill. And it's good, but everything in it is designed to kill you. So everything you cast here has a chance to make you take damage based on your own spell power. So it gets worse and worse and worse as you go on. And of course, we're not going to have a lot of health because we're a mage. Every skill has their own unique debuff they apply to you when you cast it. Deathly Hex, for example, applies a debuff on you that makes you have lower health regen, stacking. It also, most of these skills reduce your maximum health for like 100 turns after casting. Excellent. All stack. Occasionally you'll have like, 10, 15 of those and just be fucked. So that's cool. And they're all extremely mana intensive. You can see this one here, 30 mana. I have 66, and that's with like a huge mage build. So, kind of rough. The benefits of it are, these two abilities kind of do good damage, and it has an okay buff that you can put on that drains your mana. And that's really what we're doing right now. We're abusing the fact that I have this buff on. It's allowing me to melee better than I should be able to, because I also found a pretty nice artifact weapon. Although it's very inaccurate, but yeah, so that's the build. So to beef that out, I took Flesh Shaping, which allows me to summon zombies and heal myself, which is nice. We have Magic Training, so I can become better at the magic and make this more powerful later. We have Blood Magic, which is extremely important because as I kill stuff, I get a little bit of mana back. Very important, of course, when you have no mana from killing things. Burglary I took because I want to see traps sooner, disarm them better, because a single trap can kill you in this game when you're playing a weak character. As well as eventually will get me an invis, so I have a way to escape. Right now I don't. Although invis sucks in this game, because when you go invisible, the enemies follow you, they just don't hit you. Fungal Art summons, as I kill enemies, mushrooms grow. I can grab those, go down this tree for some summons and stuff. I haven't bothered right now, but mostly the growing mushrooms is important, so that I can go boom into alchemy and make heals for myself or other cool potions. So that's how we do it in the hood. We haven't done the monster zoo yet. There's a lot of mechanics in this game, but every floor has a monster zoo. It's a room filled with like a billion monsters. And if you kill it in a without going up or down a floor, that's good. You get an artifact weapon. If you cannot manage to do that, that's bad.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is
But you know, you don't die, so that's good.
Your inventory is full.
So we've maxed Necronomiconomics. Now what do we do? To become more powerful? Just get a shitload more magic and spell power and stuff? That seems good. So once we get Master of Magic, we'll have a bunch of magic resist and shitloads of mana and damage and kind of cool things. Or... we could get... I mean, this does let us get a phylactery. Does Master of Magic teach you the spell of mastery? No, unfortunately. Once you were the apprentice, now you are the master. Which is cool. I don't actually need potions yet, so I think... I'll probably start going up here. Increased mana regen, that's really nice. We could go for something like that. Or of course we go down blood magic, which is jokes, because... Let's do this. We're meleeing a lot right now. So the first point in blood magic, use of the dark arts enables a vital siphoning. Enables your melee attacks to drain enemies and transfer them to yourself. So now we have some lifesteal, which is not going to matter later, but it gets the bad skill out of the way. Oh, I was supposed to destroy something on the monolith? No. That wasn't... That's wrong. You're gonna play what? Master of Magic? It's a pretty good game, actually. So is Lords of Magic. Of course, you can't lifesteal that which has no life. Fucking robots and nerds. Bronze ingot. It's fine.
Your inventory is full. Critical hits.
To be fair, I do rag on nerds a lot, but everyone knows I'm like the biggest fucking nerd. Hang on, I have a crayon. Oh man, I love the fucking AI. Or like the monsters in this game just say the dumbest shit. It's fun. Oh my god, a nail ward Mark II. Nice. I think salt's actually half decent. This floor doesn't seem right. Either I've missed something, or we have to use another staircase. Okay, there's a door there, I was gonna say. Occasionally what happens is, like, you have to go back up and then down through other staircases to find the rest of the dungeon. They don't always connect. I'm not opening this now just in case there's something really bad in there. Like the monsters do. I didn't want to have to back up in the acid. It wasn't, but we didn't know that. Oh fuck, okay, I thought that was the zoo. This game does just love the lag for no reason though, so... It's always that. Oh shit. There's a boss man. He is Little Luicha, mother of bees. Just gonna blow him the fuck up with eldritch power. I can set them on fire as part of the eldritch inhabitation curse. Oh, a razor sword, it's okay. There's more to this dungeon. They're telling me. Let's teleport around, see if we find something. Maybe not. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or sorry, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 stairs up. So now we go upstairs and count how many stairs down there are. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. We already do the monster zoo and I just don't remember. Well, down we go. I know we've done one monster zoo.
Your inventory is full.
Okay. Thought that was the monster zoo for fucking sure. I was like, rip me. I just debuffed myself with some necromantic blinding, some lingering weakness, a curse of the mind. Oh, I know, this game loves to tell you how full or unfull your inventory is.
Critical hits.
And by the way, it's always full. Especially if you do any of the
To regain health.
crafting things. It can get really bad. So fish paladins are actually bad. We have a negative holy resist, I believe. Yeah, -7. So they actually just fuck us up. Damn assholes. Well, anyway.
Your health is low. Your inventory is full.
Yeah, you just get used to hearing that constantly in this game. Fucking thrusty, everybody. It's a lot of fun.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full.
What's my inventory again? Say my name, damn it. Inventory is full. I have that written on my tombstone. Also, I don't know how you put a samurai bot to sleep. I'm just
Your life force
fucking dead right now. Actually, boys. Am I? Okay. That worked out. I was almost fucking dead. I forget how big Tenebrous Rift is, but it's big enough that I just don't want to be there. Yeah, it's pretty big, turns out.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full.
Haywire.
Fucking love that. Oh, nice. Okay, let's go put our ring on here. He's pleased by us. Oh my god. Gave us trap affinity. Now disarm traps a little better. Not that much better though. Oh my god, Krong. He loves us. Oh my god. Trap detection. Oh, we can never touch that ring now because it's actually good. Hey, Inconsequentia, what up? What's my quest? Monster Bangnigiz, the poacher gears and his horde of underlings, Lord Dredmor's 26th flank, the crab-like shocks must be defeated. I haven't found them yet, but I will. Okay, just made a whole bunch of traps right here. That's fine. It's no big. Fucking Ely. The fruit tree, I remember being actually an asshole. So he can charge, I think? That does like bonus damage or something. Yeah, I got a bunch of minor blood debts going on. Don't worry about it, boys. Spear of Holy Sacrifice. That was a curious little crackle sound. Now let's drink this Merlot. Okay, fuck, there's problems in here. So first off, that's a boss, the Great Pumpkin. So is the Tree of Woe, but you know what else? Fuck you. Oh. I got put to sleep or something for a second there, but we survived. It got sketchy. Spirit Stealer, nice. We can have a chance of stealing magical power when we kill our enemies. I like that. Cool.
Your inventory is full.
Iron ingot is good, actually.
Your inventory is full.
Just use it to make rust. Okay, we are gonna pick this up. Drop that off. Ah, fuck the rest of this. Yeah, the stacks get really bad, and like this is with me like using melee combat a lot of the time to not. Oh no, that's a zoo. All right, boys, time for bullshit. Fuck you, and hey, you in the back. Fuck you as well. By the way, and oh, we survived. We survived. Yep. Let's just heal real quick. Child. We fine. Oh, we fine. Got the heal off. Ooh, boy. That's some bullshit. Hey, you over there? Yeah, fuck you. As well. Also. And, somewhere over here. Got my goddamn sight. Just ignore all my soul prices and blood debts and curse of the mines, and that's fine. That's all good. Just trying to take a step. Nice. Anyway, we leveled up again. Let's get Hemetic Phylactery. So you can pour your blood and soul into a secret hidden thing that you need. You can tap when your need is greatest, or whenever you fancy a nip of forbidden sanguine juices. This gives us an extra life, essentially. It's pretty good. But we want this so we can get Soul Collector, right? Problem is, all these things make the paladins that are rare, but when they show up, they will one-shot us. Just gotta pay attention to all that. Let's make a thing. It's, potatoes? Get out of here. Actually, potatoes are good. Let's keep those. Food drop. Cheese round? Let's eat this. There it is. Okay. So, as long as we have this thing, is it an extra life, or? Look at how this works. We can drink it to essentially like heal ourselves a shitload. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. While we have it, we have lower max health, and we regen slower. But we know what we're just gonna do, right? Oh yeah. This is a big fucking monster zoo. BT dub. And that's minus 10 max health. It's not great. Oh, that. Okay, this guy's resistant to our bullshit. There's a problem. Try that bullshit on him, see how that works. Pretty good.
You need more mana.
Here, you little shit. Nice! Cleared the monster zoo, and we got a nice artifact that we're probably not going to wear. But, cool. Thanks anyway.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full.
The good news is we can survive a monster zoo, so in theory we can survive anything. In practice, though, probably not. I feel like you're pretty resistant to bullshit, too. Nice. It's good, most people aren't. See, like, this looks bad, whatever. I think I was putting myself to sleep with magic. Hello. Yes, I need to kill more things to maintain this high level of mana I require. Wow, this is a fucking room! Why would I say that? Okay. Yeah, so we didn't find a monster zoo on that last level. It's weird. Maybe we have to come at it from down here. No.
Your inventory is full.
Hey, Thrusty. I remember Thrusty being kind of annoying. Oh yeah. Oh yes he is. Lockpick's nice. There's some bullshit over here. Bit of that. Nice. We're doing okay, all things considered. Oh, acid, bottle bolts. They're not bad. But they're not going to work on Dredmor himself, so that's probably our only concern right now.
Your inventory is full.
Nice. Unfortunately, like, this is looking like a pretty good run. Nice. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, what the fuck? Where'd y'all come from? eyes don't look at Tenebrous Rifts. That's for goddamn sure. Just cast that shit and you walk away. Oh, the Vampire Hunter's hat, eh? That I can get behind. Gives more darkness resistance, which we need. Gives a lot more sight range, which is nice. But the darkness resist is good, because that helps us not kill ourselves. Which is bad. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it in a sec, because I have to be up in 5:30, 5:15, something. I'm also having fun, so trying to say is, yeah, maybe let's just go a little longer. And I think we are actually going to make this build work. It's nasty. Would this have worked on going rogue? Probably, but like on going rogue, I mean, you just have to be a little shit bastard. Look at you. You just have to be very careful with everything you do. I guess we can throw the Nightmare Curse on him. I want to find that other monster zoo and just blow the shit up. Really sad these guys walked away from the rest. I wanted to AoE the whole room, but that's fine. Also, it's funny how we took 0 combat skills and we're actually doing the combats? What the fuck? Did you miss? Not much, man. Were you here for the monster zoo? Because that was pretty good. I killed like a gillion things in a second. But I almost killed myself because of all my blood deaths, so, you know, whatever.
Your inventory is full.
Odd little room here. The Wanda Laser. This is actually kind of a fun one. I guess we'll drop these mini Gouda cheeses. Fuck. Asshole dying on my X. Oh, nice. Oh no, that was yesterday. The Monster Zoo. Oh! Oh my god, Origami. Yeah, you weren't. You just got here now. Oh no, 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 no. We're on a new character. Same kind of a build, I just changed up a little bit. Just to make it a little more effective. It's working out really well.
Your inventory is full. Your inventory is full.
So what we've changed on this build is we grab Magic Training instead of Mathemagic, and Flesh Shaping instead of Emomancy. But yeah, we're making the Necro work, don't worry. We're doing good. Kind of want to finish this floor and then call it. Seems pretty good. Sneaky slippers are pretty good. They allow you to like walk right up to enemies, which is kind of nice. You can walk around, then sort of engage them when you want to.
Your health is low.
Oh, hey, Brax. I had an artifact I wanted to sell to you. Definitely want to sell that. Maybe that was it, eh? You got anything good? Not real. You can maybe do with some better pants. Horse armor is such a fucking jokes. Holy shit. Truly an extravagance for those who can afford to throw their money into oblivion. Wow. Remember,
You need more mana.
oh god.
Drink more booze.
For paladins, goddamn horrifying.
Mana. Drink more booze.
For us. So we can't actually one-on-one those guys. They hit us, we just die. What it is.
Your inventory is full.
Amethyst.
Your inventory is full.
Doo-doo. Oh shit, did not mean to step on that. That's how you die in like all these games. You're just kind of on autopilot and you walk on a trap and you're like, well,
Your inventory
fucking
is
rip
full.
me then.
Your inventory is full.
Games like I did.
Your inventory is full.
Excuse you. This is the last little section to go. Well, yeah, but we couldn't even get through here. That's kind of it. We've cleared the floor then, except for that little bit. But like I said, we can't get there. A mist surrounds us. Oh, because we're in a bath. That's fun.
Your inventory is full.
Yes. Oh, shit, not my good ring. My ring of ash we're gonna drop. A little less fire resist, but more spell power. Which is, of course, terrifying, because that just means we end up killing ourselves faster. Okay. Oh wow, knit tissue's down to -8. Or, like, sorry, down to -8, but it only costs 8 mana to cast, up from, like, 11 or something? That's really nice.
Your inventory is full.
Okay, we're gonna kill the existential raven, and then we're gonna go to bed. Okay.
Your inventory is full.
Alright. Let's do it. Save and quit. We're doing good though, we're doing good. Anyway, take it easy folks. Sorry, I started getting real tired at the end, but like I said, I've been doing no sleep for a while, and it's gonna keep happening because I'm still working like super early mornings, but no biggie. Tomorrow we'll get more games. I'm not sure what. I kind of feel like I would like to do more Dredmor. I'm enjoying it. So, peace.